Hey beauties, this is me without makeup and all natural. Let's analyze my starting canvas and talk about how we can enhance it step by step. So here's what I'm working with. I'm a low contrast type and with my pupils being the only truly dark feature. My skin tone is uneven with some post blemishes marks and I have a hooded eyes, meaning that extra skin folding over my lids limited the visible space. No worries, let's do a full transformation. Here's a sneak peek of our final result, a polished, radiant look. I'm starting with my go-to for lightweight foundation. Here's how I apply it. Pumps 2 drops onto the back of my hand, use a fluffy synthetic brush, dab it into the product to evenly coat the bristles, and start applying with the light strokes. On the right side of my face, it only takes 2-3 swipes to cover. Then I blend with the soft movements, done in 30 seconds. See? For any excess product or streaks, I press and dab the brush to smooth things out. Repeat on the other side. And what I love about this foundation is that it builds beautifully without caking. If you have any texture or wrinkles or just feeling tired, you need to try this one. It's nothing like the heavy foundations we used to use. Bonus, after using it for 1-2 weeks, I noticed my skin looked better even when I wasn't wearing it. So we almost finished with the foundation. I focus on my T-zone using circular motions to polish over large pores and oily areas. Here I like to add a stronger concealer for extra coverage than using the same foundation, and it keeps everything locked in and looking fresh all day long. Concealer. This is my favorite step. My holy grail concealer is from NARS. I put a small amount on the back of my hand to control how much I'm using. Dab lightly with the brush, warm it on my hand, then press it into my skin with a fingertip. I also use it as an eyeshadow base. It dries down beautifully and doesn't crease, as long as you use a thin layer, of course. Check out this close-up. I have been using this mini peachy blush from Natasha Denona, and honestly, I didn't expect to fall in love with it so much. Place 3 small dots on the highest point of your cheekbones. Fun fact, a few years ago, this was the sport we reserved for highlighter. Remember those days? Add a teeny dab on the bridge of your nose for a fresh, youthful vibe, and then tap a little bit product on the outer corners, forehead and chin. This balances the color and gives you a natural sun-kissed look, but don't forget to cover the redness area around the nose. Pro tip, blend the blush using the same brush you use for foundation. Don't clean it, keep a little leftover foundation on the brush, allows the textures to melt together. Cream blends best with cream, and this trick ensures the blush looks seamlessly and natural. Start blending near the eyes first. If you accidentally added too much blush here, the foundation on the bristles will tone it down and prevent the crying eyes effect. Finish with the cheeks, ensuring you keep the most vibrant color there. It's the perfect shade. It works for olive, neutral, cool and warm undertones. Technique tip: hold your brush at the 45 degrees angle. This keeps application soft and pleasant. Press the brush lightly, focusing on the working space. I'm talking about the area between the shortest and the longest bristles. Knowing this will also help you choose the right brush size when you're shopping. Let's move to lips. Start with a soft contour to define the shape. Smile to stretch out any fine lines and lightly fill in the contours. Grab a melting texture lip balm. I'm using Makeup by Mario's Lip Serum. Just twist it up 1-2 times and swipe lightly. No pressing, just let it glide over your lips. You will feel the balm melting instantly, and the subtle mint flavor is so refreshing. Clean up any excess product around the lip contour using the fingertip for a polished finish. And now let's talk about a little packaging quirk. One thing I've noticed is that the powder tends to shift around in the compact. When I use a brush, it moves in a circle like that. It's not a big deal, but just a hands up if you notice the same thing. I have to press my fingertip into the product and then transfer it to my brush. Start by removing excess concealer. Take your brush, roll the handle gently in your fingers, and you will notice how much product is already on the air. Don't worry, this step ensures no patches or uneven spots. Dab, don't swipe. Use the brush to press the powder onto the T-zone and areas prone to shine, like the nose, forehead and chin. And this technique smooths out the base without disturbing the foundation or concealer underneath. Now I'm going to show you my lovely sculpturing. If you are looking for something like that, isn't high pigmented like most pro brands, try this one. I love how easily to blend it without looking patchy or cakey. It smells nice and comes in a very presentable package. I simply melt it on my hand and then apply it with the brush. Don't do like that. Instead, relax your muscles, make the face you normally have in everyday life, and find the line where your teeth meet. Follow exactly this line and then gently blend the product onto the foundation from side to side with a light pressure. Don't make a stop or pause at the beginning or end of the stroke, as this will create bright spots. It's not just about the product, it's all about how you apply it. I mean the movements, whether swiping or dabbing, and the tool you use, a brush, sponge or fingertips. Build it up as much as it needed. Don't forget about the jawline and temples. The lowest line will follow the lash line and the highest point will align with the highest point of your eyebrow. Finally, I apply a bit along the hairline. Look at the result. Right now I don't have any accents on my face, no eyebrows or eyes, just foundation. I mean skin and lips, that's it. It might look a little too bright at first, but once you add brow and eye makeup, you will see how everything ties together and looks natural. The product isn't high pigmented as I mentioned before, so there is less chance of making a mistake or a mess. Highlighter. I use the same brush for sculpting powder and highlighter as well. First, I turn my face toward to the light, find the highest point of my cheek. You will see the glare, so this is it. I applied here a few times and polished it gently. See this bone? Then I turn my wrist and blend it, not toward to the hairline, but subtle toward to the eyebrow. The key is how many times you blend and polish. The more you do, the more it will shine, even with the most delicate highlighter. All about how you lay the shimmer particles on the surface. I use one mascara from Shiseido. It's easy to wash off without scraping your eyes, especially if you have a sensitive eyes. It rinses off with a warm water. Look down into a mirror, relax your eyebrow muscles, wiggle the brush at the roots of your lashes and then swipe to the tips. To coat the lashes fully, it can help to blink a few times while applying the mascara. You will notice a significant difference depending on the application technique. This particular mascara is great for creating a more visible, dramatic effect. I also like to angle my lashes to the side for a foxy look before applying mascara. You can change your straight lashes using just the most comfortable curlers, and I found them from Shiseido and Dior. Both have a nice curve that fits the eyes well, but we all have different eye shapes. I have noticed with my clients that these two curls works well for almost everyone. So Shiseido even offers a half curl for the corners, which is incredibly comfortable and precise, and immediately set the curl with mascara. Here's my technique for everyday use. First, I apply the mascara, then clean any smudges from the lids. Everybody who has the hooded eyes knows this, that sometimes we have a good day, sometimes not. So today it's a not good day for me. I use a Q-tip for this step. Let me show you a close-up and look how beautiful it is. For those of us with the hooded eyes, eyelashes are especially important because they can visually enhance and even alter the overall look. That's why many of us with this eye shape also prefer using false eyelashes to achieve the desired effect. No PR or advertising here. I choose an angled brush and press it perpendicularly into the eyebrow shadow to pick up the product evenly. Just a quick reminder, the brush should go from the shortest bristle to the longest, in exactly this way. Start from the ends of your eyebrows, turn your wrist and draw a straight line. Keep in mind that the eyebrows should follow a 2:1 proportion, 2 parts for the largest section and 1 part for the ends. Lower your chin slightly, then draw the angle and the highest point of the eyebrow. Lastly, draw a line parallel to the bottom edge of the brow. After creating these two parallels, fill in the gaps. Turn the brush perpendicularly and start blending in the opposite direction to create a smooth gradient. I can also do it with a darker shade, just brush it a few times after to get the same result. Press the product onto the back of your hand, turn your head slightly and start from the ends. Turn your wrist to draw the straight line and fill in the gaps. Lower your chin again and draw the highest point of the brow. Finally, position the brush perpendicularly to the brow so that all the bristles, not just the longest ones, touch your skin. Use horizontal swipes to blend seamlessly, creating the illusion of symmetry without actually connecting the two brows. You just need to find these 4 key points of the beginning of the eyebrows and connect them smoothly. Finally, we are going to create a smoked eyeliner look for hooded eyes. I grab a black eye pencil and use the same angled brush we used earlier for the eyebrows. Find your lower lash line, visualize the line in your mind and press the brush to your skin. The line should be under the crease. Smudge the pencil with your fingertip, nail or a brush. Just melt it into the skin for a soft effect. Next, apply the pencil to the inner corners of your eyes. If your eyes are sensitive, feel free to skip this step. To lighten the lid, I use the matte white powder that's lighter than my skin tone. This brightens the lid and creates the illusion of more space. Alternatively, you can use light beige eyeshadows for the same effect. This completes the base makeup, but I want to show you how to create blended eyeliners. Let's choose an eyeshadow palette. I personally love Natasha Denona's palettes. When I travel, I often grab one from Sephora as a little souvenir, like a fridge magnet. These eyeshadows are amazing, but their packaging is fragile. For this look, I start with a champagne colored shade and apply it to the lids with my fingertip to add light to areas that may be hidden by extra skin. I take a matte brown shade and apply it above the black eyeliners with a sharp thin brush to set and prevent smudging. Relax your eyebrows and look straight ahead. If you notice extra skin causing the eyeliner to break, lightly blend that area using small swipes towards the crease. Focus on the outer corners before the iris and add a touch of dark brown for depth. Blend it gently, then draw a straight line above the extra skin without pressing too hard. Grab a small barrel brush for precise blending, holding it perpendicularly to the skin, maximum at a 45 degrees angle. Take a matte light brown shade, tap off the excess on the back of your hand and blend it across the extra skin, moving from side to side toward the middle of the eye. Apply the same shade to the lower lash line and to the inner corners if there aren't already shadows from the brow bone. Find the highest point of your eyes, usually across their pupils, and lift the quarter corners slightly. Blend this area a bit higher to create a lifting effect. Add more matte brown eyeshadows at the border between the eyeliner and the gold shimmer, blending with a small fluffy brush. Clean underneath the eyeliner using a flat brush with the concealer. Press firmly and swipe down to remove any fallout, repeating the motion to ensure the line is clean. If needed, use your fingertip to shorten the eyeliner for precision. Let's recap the steps. Take matte brown eyeshadow, dab it onto the back of your hand and apply it over the black eyeliner to set it. Add the same shade to the outer corners of the low lash line. Use light brown matte eyeshadow to blend the outer corners, holding the brush perpendicularly to the skin. Find the highest point of your eyes and stop blending there. Ensure the line between the eyebrow and the blended eyeshadow is parallel. Add depth by blending the same shade into the inner corners and the crease, especially if you have flat eye shapes like mine. Use a smaller brush to blend matte light brown eyeshadow between the eyeliner and the crease for a seamless gradient. Apply shimmer to the center of the lids, making sure it doesn't mix with the matte eyeshadows. And the last one, clean up the eyeliner line again to define it, pressing firmly for a sharp finish. If you make any mistakes, don't remove the makeup completely. Instead, add a little matte brown eyeshadow and blend to fix the gap. Creating a gradient between the line and the golden eyeshadow ensures a polished finish. Foundation often removes natural shadows, so adding this step restores balance. I finish with a highlighter at the inner corners of my eyes, on the nose tip, the side wings and the bridge. Here's our final result. What do you think? I hope you found this tutorial helpful and easy to follow. Don't stress about perfection, it's all about the process and having fun with it. Keep practicing, keep experimenting, and most important, keep shining. Stay fabulous and I'll see you soon. Bye!